Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, Mr. Perez, motion to approve the agenda.
A second.
Mr. Boyd, second that motion. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Okay. Aye. Did I hear Ms. Flores? No.
I'm here. Aye.
Okay. Alrighty, so we'll move forward to approval of previous meeting minutes, aprobación de los minutos anterior. Como saben, todas nuestros meetings son grabados que pueden go back. I don't know how to say that in Spanish.
Revisar.
Revisar los meetings en nuestras grabaciones. So as all we know, our meetings are always recorded. We can always just go back to it. So if we can just go ahead and motion to approve the minutes for last meeting.
I motion to approve minutes from last meeting.
Okay, so Perez motion to approve the previous meeting minutes. I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. We'll go ahead and move forward. We'll move forward to LSC Chair Report, reporte de la Presidenta. I do have questions, but I don't know if when we go into our Sustainable Community School is, I forgot her name. Do we have a report to Sustainable Community?
Yes, Emily is here with us.
Okay, so my questions are, I'm gonna hold my questions, my report, or my questions, I should say, until we get into our Sustainable Community Schools. Okay, so we'll move forward to PPLC. Yo voy a guardar mis preguntas para el Sustainable Community Schools porque tengo preguntas. So voy a guardar mis preguntas hasta que repasemos ese reporte. Vamos a proceder al PPLC. Is there any report, Ms. Morehouse?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay, so en el momento no hay reporte, so vamos a proceder a Parent Advisory Committee. There is no report from PPLC, so we'll go ahead and move forward to the Parent Advisory Committee, Comité de Asesor de Padres. So we did not, I'll go ahead and do that. We did not have a meeting but we do have actually our previous meeting. Parents suggested that we spend the money on supplies, books, and things like that for the kids. So all the money has been spent. We did buy books, we have supplies, and then we have also like kits with hand sanitizer and stuff like that. So all we need is just parents to volunteer and come out to the school and just help us or help me and Perez kind of just put them together for our August 27th back to school. Okay, so for August 27th back to school, what is it, a bash that we're doing? Bash that we're doing. So we just need parents to kind of volunteer and come out and just help out with putting all that together. So we all have all those supplies. Other than that, I do not have anything else unless someone has questions for me.
Can you just say that in Spanish?
Oh, yes, of course. La última reunión no se hizo, pero la reunión antes de este mes, padres habían sugerido en gastar el dinero en utensilios y libros para los niños. Todo el dinero se fue gastado, creo que fueron $2,000 que fue gastado en utensilios para los niños, libros para los niños. Lo único que necesitamos ahora es los padres que volunteer, I don't know how to say that in Spanish, que volunteer para
voluntarios.
Padres voluntarios. Gracias. Padres voluntarios para que nos ayuden a hacer las canastas para los niños para agosto 27, que va a haber un evento para regreso a la escuela. So solamente necesitamos padres que nos ayuden, bueno, que me ayuden a mí y a Perez para hacer las canastas. And that completes that. Eso completa nuestro reporte a menos que no haya nadie que tenga preguntas. Any questions? No? Okay, so there is no
Puedes
questions.
contar conmigo.
Ms. Flores?
Ya, puedes contar conmigo.
Okay, thank you. We'll move forward to Sustainable Community. Vamos a proceder para el reporte de Sustainable Communities. Is,
Go ahead, Emily, it's your turn.
okay,
Hi, everyone. For those who I haven't met, my name is Emily Zamudio, and I serve as the SCS coordinator here at Yates. So just a brief overview of what has been happening since the last LSC meeting. We have concluded our phase 3 programming. Actually, tomorrow will be the final class, which will be family cooking. And we've heard a lot of really great things from parents and kids this year who have shared ideas of what they would like to see this upcoming year. So as we're planning for the 2021-2022 school year, we'll definitely be keeping that in mind, as well as if you would like to share your suggestions with us, you're always more than welcome to. I'll put my contact information in the chat. It's also on Class Dojo and on our school website. And just kind of a additional update to the partnership that I mentioned last time is that Yates now has a book box that is on our Francisco entrance. So that is open to everybody in the community. However, Yates families are highly encouraged to go and take a book from there. It's already stocked, and I'll be continuing to put new books in over the summer. And then we have been spending down a good chunk of money, both from the school side and from our lead partner agency, which is the Puerto Rican Cultural Center. And we've really just been focusing on getting more stuff for our school store. That way, when the kids come back in the fall, there'll be plenty of things to incentivize them to do well in the classroom, as well as additional things related to programming.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zamudio.
Of course.
okay, thank you, Ms. Zamudio. So the only thing, so this is why I wanted to weigh into Sustainable Community, if you guys are wondering why. So this question will be for Mrs. Zamudio, and it's in regards to the parent mentors. So I have not heard anything from parent mentors of what they're doing, what they've done throughout the school year. I don't know if Teresa Labastidia is here, that she can log in and kind of, I don't know, mention anything. And the reason why I'm saying that, it's because I remember in one of our meetings that we had mentioned about parent mentors kind of helping out with PAC. So they cannot be in our LSC, but you know, I would like to see parent mentors in our PAC. I have yet to see any parent mentors join any of our meetings or help out. So I'm not sure if there's an update on that.
So there is a slight update for expectations that they'll be held to this school year, and that is related to participating more heavily in PAC, more present both in school and during out of school events. So that's definitely, you know, that's been on our radar as well, of upping that involvement for parent mentors. And so I don't know if Teresa's on here, but all the parent mentors have finished their hours for the school year. And so anything additional that they've been doing has been solely volunteer based. So throughout the school year, they have helped out with delivering kits for our after school program, virtually logging into classrooms to provide enrichment, programming, and support to students, as well as continuing that classroom support to teachers. And then they've also just continued their professional development training and really just been looking at additional ways that they can help this upcoming school year. But that concern regarding the involvement in PAC has definitely been brought to our attention on both ends, and it's included in an updated list of expectations for incoming parent mentors to follow.
So when you say classroom support, how have, I mean, with the pandemic and virtual learning and then going into in-school, how has the parent mentors done classroom support?
Sure. So they've done kind of like pull-out support. So they'll be in breakout rooms with the students and just giving more individualized support. So helping them read, do some of their homework, do some additional enrichment activities that otherwise the teacher might not have time to do. So kind of similar to what they would have been doing in person in the classroom. So doing small group with the students, helping them, more one-on-one with their work. It's just a little bit different virtually. So it's just more small group. So students have just been logging into kind of a breakout room with that parent mentor, as well as dropping off additional like academic materials to families if they've expressed that need.
How many parent mentors do we have this year? Because I'll be honest, I don't even know one.
I believe our number fluctuated a little bit. I think Crystal Perez can give a more specific answer, but I want to say around 4 or 5.
We ended the year with 4.
With 4?
Mhm.
So we originally had 5 and then we just ended the year with 4?
I think we originally had 8 and we ended the year
Oh.
with 4.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of them have fortunately moved on to full-time positions with the school. So that obviously was a better opportunity than continuing as a parent mentor. So it's one of the reasons why our numbers dropped in that scheme.
Okay, so the only thing that I would add into kind of my report and for the next school year, I think that if we're going to have parent mentors, I think they need to be involved more in school, especially with our meetings. I mean, these are parents that have kids in our school, so I don't know if Teresa's here. If she is, we can have her join. So if Teresa, if you're in, you can join now. You don't have to wait into public participation. But in regards of parent mentors, it's something that, PAC, we have always struggled to get parents together. And I think parent mentors should be a big part of our PAC. And they should be a big part of all of our meetings, especially helping gather other parents to join. So I think that for our next school year, that's something that should be in their contract, which should be a requirement for them if they want to be a parent mentor. So that's pretty much it that I had for you and everyone in the LSC.
We agree, and that's why, there's been a lot of talk behind the scenes of really putting in more specific expectations. So not so much that you are here helping out the school, but specifically what you will be doing at the school. So that, that's definitely been on the table, and it's something that they have agreed to. I think it's just, it'll be easier once a new group of parent mentors come in. That way everybody's on the same page from the beginning, but we definitely hear you and we agree on that.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty, Ms. Amudio, well, thank you so much. I appreciate your report. Unless anyone else has questions for Ms. Amudio? No? Okay. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so then we'll move forward to principal's report. It's all yours for us.
All right, so in my report this week, we are doing what's called a year in review. Just wanted to share with everybody, this is our last meeting for the year. And so I just want to go over the things that we have accomplished this year, because we've accomplished quite a bit, and we've also had some trials and tribulations that we did not expect, right? So we had a lot of things happening this year, and so I just want to go through that. So first and foremost, what we started to do when we started our year, we began planning for growth, and we began planning to make sure that our students who were remote and when they were at home, that they had everything they needed. So we ensured that our students, we looked at their scores, because we were not able to have our end of the year testing last year. So we had to figure out how we were going to first monitor their instruction and monitor their achievement. And so we did that by looking at iExcel. And so iExcel is our computer program that many of the parents, you've probably heard, that your students have, they have to do work on. And that is tied to our reading and our math and our science. And so what we did is we were able to group our students into small groups. And this is just an example of a group that students were in. And then what iExcel did here, if you can see there where that circle is, it tells us as the teachers where your students were landing in these sections and where that we needed to begin to work on with their reading. And so in this case, this group of students needed help with spelling patterns and sorting long and short vowel sounds, and then identifying the purpose of a text. Then our teachers, what they did is they created groups, and they created small groups digitally, right, on Google Meets, and then they were working on specific tasks with our students. And so we did this for both reading and for math, and we were able to see growth. Now, here's what our growth looks like. If you take a look at our graph over here, this is where we started, and this is where we ended up. So we started with 39.6% of our students below grade level, or 2 or more grade levels, and then we ended with 33.4%. Now, while many of us may think that that's not a big jump, what we really want to look at is how many students jumped up in the blue, because blue means they're above grade level. And we want more kids in the blue and the green than we had at the beginning of the school year. This is where we are, right? So we did have some growth between all of our grades. And then individually, you can see where we had our most growth. And most growth we saw in 2nd and in 3rd grade. And then going into 6th grade. So we did really, really well. Our teachers really rocked it this year. And I want to say that, and I want to say that our congratulations to them, because we had to learn how to simultaneous teach in less than a week. And so we were really proud of the teachers, the way they did that. Then we also worked on attendance. Attendance, if you take a look here, the Chicago Public Schools attendance rate is 89.73%. Our network, which is our area where we are, is 90.14. We are above both of those percentages, which is exactly, it's where we want to be. But if you take a look at this bottom graph down here, you can see where we fell in our attendance. And that was in 1st, 8th, and 2nd grade. Those were the 3 grades that we had the most absences in. And what we found out with 8th grade was that they were not logging on to do their attendance, but they were doing their work in their class, Google Classroom. Once we began implementing an 8th grade contract, then our 8th grade attendance did change. For the 1st and 2nd graders, what we really attributed that attendance rate to, and we figured that out, was connectivity issues. It's really hard to have 1st and 2nd graders sitting in front of a computer for 6 hours a day. And then if you take a look at this graph over here, this is where we had the most absences. And then this one right here where it says 71, our 71 is a day where our students had the most days off. And that was the day after Christmas when we were set to come back remote, and we did it. When we take a look at attendance, we began doing what's called an ice cream social. Our attendance ice cream social was amazing. This was spearheaded by our attendance action team, which is made up of teachers, and Ms. Collier leads that team. So, we were really proud. As soon as we started doing these socials, we saw a huge increase in attendance. And so this is something that we're going to continue to do as we go into next year. We continued with a 2nd social for the month of May, where we had a hot dog and an ice cream social. And then this month of June, we have 3 events happening, which are all tied to Field Day, which is happening on Monday of next week. CIWP priorities continue to be the same. Our curriculum was our #1 priority. And so with curriculum, we worked on our small group instruction. We worked on micro teaching, and micro teaching is where teachers recorded themselves and then showed their recordings to each other. We also came up with a lesson structure form. So that means that every lesson that you see, whether it's reading, math, science, social studies, or other, should have the same structure to it. And our teachers came up with that. And then we also did professional development on how to provide effective feedback to each other, because the teachers began coaching each other and watching each other teach. We developed what's called a scope and sequence. So our scope and sequence is now completed. And that means that for every month and every day, teachers and staff and parents will know exactly where their students should be and what they should be learning by our curriculum. Our MTSS, that was another one of our priorities, and we delivered that by developing an MTSS leadership team, identifying Tier 1 and Tier 2 interventions, and then using deficiencies in IXL, which is the program I just showed you, to begin to teach students where they were at. So for example, if a sixth grader did not know their multiplication tables, we were able to know that just by them taking and using an IXL program. We also conducted regular meetings with our MTSS, and we were able to reduce our referrals to special education. And that was really important because we want to make sure that we are not just pushing students into special education. Our next thing that we went over is our parent involvement. So parent involvement is going to be our goal that we begin with next school year. So part of the goals that we have for that is to have a parent outreach coordinator, which we have. Our parent outreach coordinator is going to be done through the Sustainable Community Schools office. We're going to be engaging the PAC and the local school council. We have begun to calendarize, I guess that's a word, calendarize our year. And so what we want to do for parents next year is to give a calendar at the beginning of every month so that you all know when everything is happening. We want to make sure you all know that when we have our curriculum nights, when we have our LSC meetings, when we have everything, so that it is on a calendar for you to have on your refrigerator, so you know the events that are happening at Yates for every month. We also are going to begin to do coffee with the principal once a month, where parents are going to be able to come in and learn about some of the things that are happening at the school. So for example, right now we have parents who are learning that their children have to go to summer school because of 3rd, 6th, and 8th grade levels. And some parents were asking why, because of their GPA and how does that work with the final grade? And so these are things that we have explained at many meetings, but we want to make sure parents understand that. And so we've come up with a system on how to engage parents in that. We've also want to make sure we're engaging parents during report card pickup, which are our 2 main days where we have parents here all the time. And so we're going to be doing that as well within our parent involvement plan for next school year. Student voice is the last priority that we have, and our restorative justice coach has begun to recruit students to become student ambassadors at Yates Elementary. These are students who are going to be student leaders. Hopefully they will be in charge of helping out with ideas on how to do fundraisers, what things we can begin to help to improve the school, and really take a look at how those students can begin to help us understand their experience here at Yates Elementary. Some of the other instructional priorities we worked on, we are 100% in compliance with our special education department. That is something that we have never done, we've never had been, and our amazing case manager has ensured that we are 100%, so I'm really excited. We also are going to begin leveled literacy intervention. So for parents and those of you on the local school council, next year, we expect to be back in person 5 days a week. We also expect our students to have some sort of learning loss. And so we have begun to plan for that, and we are going to have an interventionist. We spoke about that 2 meetings ago, but we are also going to have a literacy intervention program where it is going to help with reading, and we're also going to begin to help with our math utilizing our IXL diagnostic. Some things that we have also done in every classroom, there is a smart board. These are amazing. Our teachers have really learned how to use them. Every classroom, every homeroom classroom has a smart board now. And as they move forward and we move into person, you're going to see more students interacting with technology. We have also purchased classroom libraries for every classroom. So every student next year is going to be required to have a book to read, an independent reading book. So parents, we need to make sure that our students are reading every night for 20 minutes out loud. And what they're going to be able to do is then come to school and take comprehension tests that are going to then equate to points. And then with those points, they'll be able to receive prizes based on how many books they read, which is something new that we're going to be doing next year. We also upgraded our facilities because we have cleaned out all of our junk rooms. We have a lot of junk rooms here, and we've cleaned all of those out. One of the other things we did coming for next year is we also purchased brand new desks and chairs for all classrooms, K-8, because the desks and chairs that we have are old and falling apart. So we hope and pray that our students understand that having new things are really going to help create a better environment for them, but we also want to make sure that we're doing our best to take care of those things. So we will be issuing out those desks and chairs to classrooms at the beginning of next school year, and we will have all of those set up as we begin to start the year next year. We started climate, and in our climate and culture, we started what's called diversity, equity, and inclusion training. That training was done with the Unlearning Space. We did a workshop on April 16th with our staff, and we began to learn about what it means to be an anti-racist. Instead of saying I am not racist, it's about what it means to be an anti-racist. And we have been doing that with this consultant. Her name is Lydia Mercer. And we will begin a second round of diversity, equity, and inclusion training next week on our staff development day. She also collected survey information about the staff and the climate and culture of the building. So we're going to learn more about that next week. We have also, for those of you who have ever seen our morning mantra, I think that's going to continue. It has been, our students really like it. They really like to be able to see themselves on TV. We have students who are, like they call TV, but it's YouTube. And we have students who are helping to lead that. So we're going to probably continue with that. And then we will also have our digital assemblies we had this year. One of the other things we did was our Leader in Me. We had what's called Deal Time. And we did that every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And teachers began to teach Leader in Me lessons that were tied to the habit of the month. And there are now 8 habits. We did digital assemblies. I hope for many of you parents, I hope you enjoyed those assemblies. We had our first one, which was Hispanic Heritage. Then we had our winter celebration. We had Black History Month. And then we also had Leader in Me, which was the one we had 2 weeks ago. They were very successful. All of our students participated, all of our classes participated, and it was really nice to see our students engaged in, in this active learning, which is a part of our mission, which is to provide them with experiences that they're really going to remember forever. We also had a core walk. We had the district representatives come out last week. Was it last week or the day before last? Week before last. And they came in and they came in to see how simultaneous teaching was happening at our school. And this was the feedback that they gave us, which we were very happy with. All teachers were teaching and students were learning at grade level. Social emotional learning was apparent in every classroom. Students were happy and the school was welcoming. These were the main 3 things that I pulled out of that. There was some other feedback given as well on how we can continue to go up and continue to be better. And so for next school year, we are going to begin to work on either differentiation in our classrooms and co-teaching, which has to do with having 2 teachers in the classroom and really using that dynamic to teach students at their level. We had a traveling zoo, and even though it says Zoom, it's a traveling zoo. We had that last week. It was really awesome. As you can see, some of our students got to hold and touch. They got to touch animals. We had a chinchilla. That's the little kind of big mouse thing you see on the top of my head. We had a snake, and we also had an armadillo. And this was something that one of our teachers came up with, and it was a success. So we hope to do this in the future to bring these in-house field trips here at our school. And we continued with our partnerships with the Wood Family Foundation. Pitch In has been going strong. Our Pitch In students have been doing digital meetings and having weekly meetings. They have begun to recruit our students in 3rd grade. So if there are any 3rd grade students or parents who want to be a part of Pitch In, this is the time to do so. We had Giordano Dance come in where our students were dancing and during their science time and learned about how dance affects the body and how food and what food you put in your body helps with giving a dancer the energy to dance. We had our Spencer Stewart partnership, which helped with giving gift cards to parents who had lost their jobs or parents who needed help with COVID relief. So we had that partnership. We continued our partnership with the Puerto Rican Cultural Center, and they helped us with our SES programming and continued our programming after school virtually, and then in-person hybrid, and then also in-person all the way. And then Schools Count, which is our partnership that we have with this nonprofit organization that donates school supplies to our students. And that is it for our year in review. There is so much more happening though too. I just wanted to make sure I didn't take up every bit of our time. We did a lot this summer. We did a lot this year, and we have a lot of planning happening this summer, and we are ready to go in next school year, ready to go, and we are aiming for level 1 next school year. Now, I have made, just so for those of you parents who are listening, I have made a deal with our students, and the students who are coming up to be 8th graders have said that if we reach level 1+ next school year, I have to shave my head all the way bald, and they are going to shave it with a razor. So I told them that if we got level 1+, I would shave my head in front of everybody online and got that and do that for them. And so that is my report.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's gonna be funny.
Mr. Boyd, I'm gonna need your help. You're gonna be the barber, so you may have to come and help me out with that.
I got you. I'm always willing to scout people.
I like that.
I
I
asked
like that.
the students what they wanted, and they were like, what about you kissing a pig? And I was like, I'll kiss a pig. That's fine. We get a real pig, I'll kiss a pig. And then some other student was like, what about if you shave your head? And I was like, whoa, whoa. I like it, but I would do it if we get to level 1.
Ooh, I can't wait.
We're gonna have to push the students then.
And that's our goal. So next year with our goal for parent involvement next year is not to just bring parents to the school, but to make parents the educational partners, right? And so what I mean by that is really ensuring that parents know if your student needs help with reading, this is what you need to be doing at home with your student. If your student needs help with math, this is what you need to know to help your student at home with math, as opposed to saying, come to our meetings, come to our assemblies, come to our, our things. We need to make sure that we're letting parents know that they are the educational partners. And that's the only way we're going to push our students, is that we're all pushing them together.
That is true. Now, you mentioned that there's a lot of things going on in the summer. What's going on in the summer?
So CPS has a summer school program that is happening at Moose Elementary, which is about 2 blocks from here. And for any parent who wants their child enrolled in a summer program to help with reading or to help with math, both bilingual or monolingual, they can do so over the summer at Moose Elementary. So that's the summer program that CPS is having. And then if we don't, if parents don't want that to happen, then there will be after school programming for tutoring happening when we get back from summer break.
Are you having any summer programs for the kids, Yates?
So as of right now, we are not having any in-person summer programming. We are looking to see if we can have something virtual because the school is going to be under construction in the summer. They're redoing all of our entry doors to make them safer for wheelchairs. So we're going to be out of the building for about 4.5 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Does anybody have questions for Mr. Perez? No? Okay. All right, then, if no questions, we are going to move forward. Ms. Morehouse, I don't know if you caught that Mr. Calderon did join the meeting at 5:29. Yep, okay. Okay, so no questions for Perez, then we'll move forward to. Oh, I didn't see her. Oh, she is, she is here.
I already sent a message in the chat because I really forgot. I'm so sorry, but
It's okay. It happens. No worries, it happens.
it moved from my calendar, like I start driving, I say I need some stuff, I just stop it. Wow. But I'm
Oh,
here.
it's okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll move forward to new business. We do not have anything on new business. No tenemos nada en nuevo business. We'll move forward to old business. There's nothing on old business either.
We had one thing in new business. We just have to decide when we're going to have the organizational meeting.
Oh, that's right. I was actually going to do that in announcements or next meeting. Oh, that's an announcement.
That's
Do you
fine.
want to wait? That's fine. Okay. All right. So then we'll move forward to public participation. Do we have anyone in public participation?
For those of you who are online and you'd like to speak, you can just use the raised hand feature. We have one person right now, Miss Tracy Brown.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Perez, I just wanted to put it out there. Is it possible you can include when the LSC meeting is going on back into the Bear Beat? As well as send the 48-hour notice out? Because none of us knew that the meeting was today. None of the staff knew that the meeting was today. And so we had to scramble around and try to get the link to get in.
So this seems to be a continuous issue, Ms. Brown. And I'm gonna repeat the process, right? The meeting was posted on Monday, as it should be on the website. I know the link was bad, which is why the link was sent out again at 5:05. But you know, we have our meetings. They're always the third Wednesday of the month, unless it is like a month like June. And those dates are on our website. And so we always post the agenda on the website as well, along with the link. And then there was an email sent out on Tuesday, scheduled out to with the link and with the agenda as well.
Okay, I didn't receive it. Is it possible it can be included back in the Bear Beat when the meetings do start back up?
Yep, that's not a problem. We'll just make
Thank you.
not a problem.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Is there anyone else, Mr. Perez?
There is not.
No? Okay. Alrighty, so then if there is no one else on public participation, we'll move forward to announcements. In the announcements, as Perez had mentioned, for our LSC, we need to set a organization meeting date. So if we can just kind of look at our agenda for July, we have to do this in July.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it has to be done before July 15th.
Oh,
So,
oh,
so it's like,
okay,
we have those 2 weeks.
right. So July 15th, so, oh,
I'm sorry, July 16th, which is a Friday. So, and I think we're gonna, that's the other thing. Do we want to continue using Zoom, correct?
I mean, well, the school's gonna be closed for a whole month.
Right. So,
So-
so what I'm saying is for like when on July, we'll do it for July, and then we can decide in August if we want to come in person.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm okay with July 9th, which is a Wednesday. Are you guys okay with July 9th?
That's the week before. That's the week before it ends, right?
Yeah.
That's a Friday, July
Oh, I'm
9th.
sorry. Yeah.
So July 9th, like, yeah, I cannot. That's
I think July 7th.
That's Wednesday.
Julio,
It's gonna be. Can we do? I mean, it doesn't have to be that Wednesday. Can we, or if it's a Wednesday, can we do the 14th instead?
Yep.
2 days
Um,
before.
Yeah, as long as we have the meeting on the 14th. Remember, that's the organizational meeting where we
Yeah.
choose the chair, we choose the dates that we're gonna meet, and then we put all the calendar together, and then we just send that out.
Yeah, so it's not a long meeting. It's just an organization meeting where we just said the roles and the dates, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, in all honesty, that week that you're trying to choose, I will not be available, but I can do the following week.
I can do the 14th. How about the rest of you?
If everybody else is okay with the 14th.
As long as we do it through Zoom, I think we should be able to do it, but you guys tell me.
Or we can even do that Tuesday at 5 if it works for anybody else.
14th is fine with me.
Yeah,
The 14th, okay.
July 14th. Okay, let me just write it down, July 14th.
Ms.
And it's,
Lynn
go-
Harden,
and it's going to be through Zoom.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay. Yes, okay.
Now the question is gonna be, do you guys want to still do 5 for July 14th?
Yeah.
No.
That's too, that's too, I'm good if we do it earlier.
Earlier, yeah, I totally agree, yeah.
Ms. Morehouse? You're muted.
What do you mean by earlier? What time are you thinking?
I mean, whatever time you guys want.
11, 12, something
No,
like that.
not in the middle of the day.
Okay. 7 in the morning.
I mean, if not, we can leave, or we can do 3 p.m. Is everybody okay with 3 p.m.?
Yeah, maybe.
3.
Three, Mr. Ortiz, Ms. Flores, Mr. Boyd.
I mean,
Are you guys-
basically, we're just meeting to pick the new positions for the year and pick the dates.
Yes, that is correct.
So what time do you want to do this?
Which at tops, I mean, it will take 30 minutes depending on how many questions we have, but 45 minutes tops at the most, I want to say.
Do you want to do it at noon? I mean, does other people work, you know, like,
Noon, I'll just be getting up
So
from work.
let's- All right, so let's just do 3 p.m. I think that will work for everybody. I mean,
3 p.m.
five is late, so let's do 3.
3 is fine.
Okay. All right, so then our organization meeting, it's gonna be July 14th at 3 p.m. and that is going to be via Zoom.
Okay.
All right, I already put it in my calendar. All right, so then other announcements, the only announcement that I know that I have, it's August 27th, which is the back to school bash. Mr. Perez, how would you like, just because I thought about it, we have to do the bags for, how should we announce that? Since the school is gonna be closed for a whole month.
So we can still announce it using the robocalls that we do, and we'll put it on Facebook, we'll put it on our dojo and all of that.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that we're letting parents know now as well. So we'll make sure we start to do that. We'll make some flyers. The other thing is we're gonna have food as well. So it'll be a pretty big event for us.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is it's, we need parents to help do the bags for the 27th. So we'll just do it through Zoom, or I mean, we'll just do it through like text message, Facebook announcement. Okay. All right, well then that's it. I don't have any other announcements unless anyone else has any announcements.
When are
class,
you,
class dojo too.
Oh, Class Dojo, yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Mr. Boyd.
when are you planning on doing the bags?
Good question.
Anytime, it'll be like the second week in August. Because that's when we'll be back in the building.
Oh, okay, so the second week of August. Okay. So for any parents that are listening, it will be, you guys will be receiving some type of message, email, text, robocall, sometime the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Sounds
then,
good with me.
Just a quick announcement, we have field day next week. All students who want to come to field day are more than welcome to come. We will have a, what's it called? We'll have a dunk tank where Mr. Perez and Mr. Vera right now are signed up to be in the dunk tank. So any student who has 96% attendance will be able to get 3 free throws. Any student who wants to throw, it'll be $1. It is a fundraiser, so we want to make sure that that is out there. But we have all these other games and activities for kids to play on Monday. And we are also collecting all computers and all technology. So that needs to be turned in by next Tuesday by all students in order to receive their report cards.
Okay. Now for the kids that are not in school, will they still be able to go?
Yeah, so if they want to come in person for the field day, they can, but we also have a virtual field day happening too, where there'll be virtual things that they can do as well.
So let's just say I'll put my child as an example. My daughter is not in school. If she did go, how would she, like, what would be the instructions for her?
So they have to come in, they have to do the health screener, and then they just come in, turn in their computer, and then they would go to their class, and we would take them to their class. We just have to make sure that there's not more than 15 kids in a room, but right now we're doing pretty well.
Okay. Okay.
And then those students who stay home, if they want to participate in the virtual field day, they can do so as well, because all the students are on a team, and so they can participate in the virtual field day to help their team get points.
Okay. Okay, but then all computers, Chromebooks need to be returned by Tuesday, by the end of the school day.
Yes, and then we also will be here on Wednesday in case. We'll be here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday collecting as well. If parents still want to use the computers for Tuesday, Monday, and Tuesday, but we need them at the latest Friday by noon.
And then another question, just in case any parent is out there probably asking the same thing. If this is just for students, I know that of course last year was different. I mean, well, the year before that was different because parents were able to participate. Is that being done this year?
Participate in what?
Just kind of like if it's outside, would parents be able to participate?
So they could, if it's the outside stuff, parents are more than welcome to come through. If you're coming in the building, you have to fill out the screener, you have to wear a mask, but that's why we're doing most of everything outside. So it'll be in the parking lot, the staff parking lot, and on the playground. We have all stuff kind of planned in those areas. And then we have like 2 things happening in the gym.
Okay. Okay. All right, well then that, I mean, I don't have any more questions.
The only thing,
Go ahead.
Yes.
all I wanted to say is that the Puerto Rican parade will be taking place on the this coming Saturday, the 19th. The city of Chicago approved it, so we I will send over the flyer to you, Israel.
Does
We can share it.
Yates have a float this year?
We don't have a float, but we're walking with the CAC. And so we have about 14 people who have signed up. We're really excited. Ms. Cintron is leading that charge. So for any teachers or students or parents who want to walk, they would contact Ms. Cintron, and we have shirts for those people who want to participate.
Okay, and then this is what, Saturday, what time?
The parade starts at 2, but they want everybody to be there by 1.
Okay.
I think Ms. Centrone is telling people to be at Columbia Bay High School by noon.
Okay.
And then how were parents being notified? Like if anybody wanted to participate, how was this being announced?
We have not announced it to the parents. Because and we didn't work out those logistics. So right now the PRCC asked us just for teachers and staff to walk.
Oh, got it. Okay. Got it. Okay, well, I think this completes. Unless we have any other announcements. No questions, concern, comments? Okay, all righty then, if no one has any more comments or questions, we'll move forward to adjourning our meeting at 6:02.
All right, have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Did we motion?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Are you motioning to close?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Perez motion to close. I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. I'll see you guys next month.